Welcome everyone to a new show I'm starting. It's an NXT reaction. I've been a fan of NXT since they restarted back in 2012 with their new brand, and I felt like it's coming to a new era on NXT, so I thought now would be a perfect time to start doing a reaction every week to what's going on, and talk about rumors and pay-per-views and all that goodness. I am Wes Troop, by the way. I've been watching wrestling since 1999, so I've seen quite a few things over the years. I've become a huge fan of NXT, so I figured this would be the time to talk about it. Anyway, so this week's episode, oh, by the way, if you hear a loud noise in the background, that is the air conditioning. I need it on or I will pass out because it is hot. So forgive the sound, shall we, okay? Alright, I have my little clipboard here of the notes I took. So if I look down, that's what I'm doing. First off, the first match of the night kicked off with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, along with Carmella, who I like all three of them, they're awesome, versus Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, who I haven't really seen. I've seen them both over the years, but I haven't really noticed a whole lot team-wise that has impressed me too much, but we'll see as the months go on here, because it seems like they're going to get a little bit of a push. Actually, the end, it was Cass went into the steps and Enzo got clotheslined on the outside by Scott Dawson, and Enzo gets the Shatter Machine, which is their finisher, which is sort of like the 3D lift into a code breaker, which was awesome, by the way. I love that move. I'm like, that really, it surprised me that Dawson and Wilder won. So we'll see what's gonna happen with that. Enzo and Cass have been losing a lot lately, so I don't know what's going on with them, but they're my favorite tag team in wrestling right now, including WWE. So I hope Enzo and Cass aren't on a downward spiral or something, but we'll see. Then Baron Corbin beat Jesse Sorensen, and Jesse Sorensen, by the way, wrestled for TNA. I assume it's the same Jesse Sorensen. Quite a few years back he wrestled for TNA. I believe he broke his neck, or at least had some sort of neck surgery, and wasn't gonna come back, and he never really came back. So now, but here he is a few years later in NXT as a jobber. But whatever. Baron Corbin, if you've seen a Baron Corbin match, you know it's a squash match, at least the ones that aren't on pay-per-view, or the NXT TakeOver at least. And yeah, it was like 15 seconds maybe. Baron Corbin wins again. Shocker. Tyler Breeze confronted William Regal about having a match at TakeOver because he still doesn't have an opponent. I'm not going to spoil it, but we know who his opponent is for TakeOver if you read the spoilers. But in case you haven't, I won't spoil it on the show. You can look it up if you don't know and you want to know. But in a few weeks, of course, I'll report that on here. Regal tells him to be careful what you wish for, flower. And the next match, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable beat Elias Sampson and Levis Valenzuela Jr. And that's the first time I've ever heard of this Levis Valenzuela Jr. guy. He was okay, I guess, you know. Chad Gable got pops. He's pretty popular in the NXT arena, and there were even chants and whatnot. I'm glad to see Jason Jordan finally getting somewhat of a little bit of, at least, of a push, because he's been there since 2012 at least. So it's nice to see they're doing something with him. Then there was a Bull Dempsey video called Bull Fit. If you've seen NXT the past few weeks, William Regal is getting on Bull Dempsey's back to get into shape, stop eating Doritos and whatnot. And he did this exercise training type video where he's running through the halls and stuff called Bull Fit. So that's going to be fun for the crowd to chant when he comes back out. The next match, Charlotte beat Dana Brooke. not much of a surprise there. Charlotte now, of course, part of the Diva Revolution on Raw and SmackDown. I love it, love it, love it. I'm so glad to see those girls on Raw and SmackDown. A big fan of all three, especially Sasha. She's my favorite diva. But it was a decent match. It was kind of short. Dana still had her Dana section there. It must be her family or something. Because I like Dana, but a lot of people don't. She's becoming the John Cena of the Divas division because there's Dana, let's go Dana, Dana sucks. And also Dana's Ratchet. So it's nice that they passed that chant along to someone else for once. But yeah, decent match. Charlotte hit the spear. Better than Reigns, better than Reigns. And then the natural selection to win. And Emma's still looking good on the outside. All right. Samoa Joe will face Rhino next week. I'm sure will be a 5-star classic. I don't know. Do they know what they're even doing with Samoa Joe? I don't know. It seems like if they don't know what they're doing with you, they put you against Rhino. But whatever. Kevin Owens appeared in the back in a clip from last week and apologized to William Regal for punching him. I don't know why everyone made such a big deal about that. Regal's a wrestler. It's not like he shoved down an old lady in a wheelchair. Whatever. I know he's the general manager, but come on, people. Oh, and then, yes, Eva Marie was backstage in an interview and warned Sasha Banks that she's coming for her title. Ha! 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 If Eva Marie beats her for the title, I will eat a hat. Literally. Okay, and then Kevin Owens beat a guy named Martin something. Martin Van Buren, we'll call him. It was a little more than a squash, maybe a 2-minute match, but Owens did the cannonball, the swanton, the pop-up powerbomb, and then he powerbombed him on the ring apron afterwards and mocked Finn Balor on the ropes. Awesome. Kevin Owens is my current favorite wrestler right now, so I love him. Love the guy. He can do no wrong. And then finally, from my favorite to my least favorite of all wrestlers currently on any roster, Blake and Murphy defended their tag titles against the Vaudevillains. Blake and Murphy, to me, in my opinion, are the most boring, generic champions or tag team that I've seen in many, many years. Probably as boring as the Basham brothers. If you're a fan of Blake and Murphy, that's fine, but I cannot find... Well, there is one thing I like about the team, and that's Alexa Bliss. That's the most exciting thing that team has going for it, so thank God they put her with them, because otherwise, I don't get it. I don't get why they've had the belts for 6 months. When they come out, now that would be like the bathroom match to me. If I was there and they'd come out, I'm like, I'm out. I'm going to souvenir stand. I don't get it. I just think they're overrated in my opinion and just completely generic. But to each his own. They might have a big following out there. I'm sure they do. But I really wanted the Vaudevillains to win and take the belts, but they did not. Alexa grabbed Aiden English's foot when he was going for the whirling dervish, and then he got pulled in by Blake or Murphy. I don't really care which one it was, and they pulled the tights. So yeah, they win again. Yippee! And then Vaudevillains came back, beat him up, threw him out, and then Alexa was in the ring, and they sort of circled her, the Vaudevillains, and the crowd started chanting chivalry. So then they lifted the ropes for Alexa. Alexa slapped them both and went left, and that was the end of the episode as they stared at each other. So hopefully they're going to have a match at TakeOver and the Vaudevillains will win and end this title reign. Please. The powers that be, let that happen. But anyway, so it was an alright episode overall. Oh, I like the oh my gotch chant during that match too, during the main event for Simon Gotch. It was an alright episode. NXT hasn't been as good as it's been because I feel the real good ones are graduating and Sami Zayn is injured, Hideo Itami's injured, but overall it was an alright episode. There were a lot of matches at least. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, check out NXT this week, and I'll be back next week with my reaction on whatever happens on that show. We know we have Samoa Joe versus Rhino, so if I don't fall asleep, I'll have my reaction on that match. Alright, until next time, Troop out.